Don't punish yourself for learning. You now know more.
Let's go.
Welcome to the Unstuck Yourself with Crystal Simmons podcast. Here, you will raise your awareness to what is, and most importantly, what isn't working for you in all areas of your life, to identify your unique abilities and superpowers, to take purposeful action. We all get stuck, and now you can unstuck yourself with me every week. Now let's get unstuck, peeps.
Let's go.
Hello, peeps. Welcome back. I have missed y'all. We have done so many interview episodes and candid conversations, which I have thoroughly enjoyed and appreciated it. And I also miss talking to y'all one-on-one as well. So even though I have other episodes ready to roll, I missed y'all. So here I am. So we're going to mosey on down to Crystal Town, give you some updates of what's been going on, the happenings all around. If you follow me on Instagram at Crystal Clear Purposes, you may have seen me share the Loving Me Through community, which I am a third of that creation alongside my sister friend Elise and my sister friend Sierra, which we got a chance to talk a couple episodes ago. So check that out if you haven't. We created the community Loving Me Through, and we're having a Friendsgiving brunch. One, I have never done a Friendsgiving before. So I'm super excited to do it with new individuals. And how fitting is it that other people who are coming to the community are new to me, period. Like I've never met them before. They may know Sierra, they may know Elise. So we're all new to this. And I'm really excited that we created and we're curating this magical moment that will take place on Saturday, November the 5th, starting at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This will be located in the Short Pump area of Virginia. So if you're not local to Virginia and maybe you're familiar with Short Pump, it's not too far for you, you could travel. There will be limited seating because we want to create this intimacy, this space of honesty and openness, and it's about us connecting genuinely. So I'm so excited because it's going to be catered. So it's going to be easeful for Sierra and Elise and I to create the space, which is going to be in Short Pump. The venue is dope as F. And then we have a Black chef coming through to curate deliciousness that you deserve. Like there's literally nothing for you to do but click a couple of buttons. This link will be located in today's episode description where you can sign up. You can hear more and you'll understand reasonings behind why you would want to sign up. In the Eventbrite invitation, tickets are available now for you to reserve your seat at the table. Again, limited seating. And we are creating this deep connection with other women in an easeful way. And how easeful can we go with creating this delicious meal, having a dope venue? All you have to do is just show up as your dopest self ever. Let's go. Like, if you're looking for connection, elevation, community, this is your sign. It is here now. So follow Loving Me Through on Instagram, LOVINGMETHROUGH, or you can follow me at Crystal Clear Purposes. I'll be sharing it as well. So we cannot wait to meet, but also to eat. Like, do you realize the power of eating good food around good people? Mm. And actually, I would actually rephrase that and say purposeful people with purposeful food to drive that deep connection. I'm getting hungry now. So the next update is I have to toot my own horn because I am honored to be able to facilitate a company retreat that's happening October the 14th in Richmond. I'm so excited. And to give the backstory, this is based off a referral. I ended up doing an interview for a local nonprofit organization that was looking for a business coach, and I didn't get the position. But during the interview, I made it very clear that if you have anyone that is looking for facilitators to provide assessments, IPEC thankfully has the Energy Leadership Index. I've shared it multiple times on this show. And y'all, my words were my command. It was offered to me to have a meeting on Zoom, did that. Me and the two participants that are leading this retreat, we connected and we went forward. And I'm just so excited to have this come about. It's pushed me past my limits because I have limits, I have fears, I have doubts. I'm human. They are not gone. They will never be gone. But I am better able to feel them and then take that next step. And it could be a small step, like that step of saying, if I'm not the fit for this interview, please consider me for other opportunities. And when I went to go back and ask the woman who referred me, I was like, what sparked that? And he said it was my energy. And I was like, thank you for that. So when I go and do things, I make sure my energy is on point, whether that's me meditating more, acknowledging when I'm a little bit overwhelmed and giving myself grace to be like, I'm good. I don't want to have meetings. I'm going to reschedule them or whatever I need to do, or regulating how I'm feeling to ensure my superpower, which is me being me, is on mother effing point. So I'm so excited. The retreat is going to be with 30 people. They've all are expected to take the ELI experience, meaning 20-minute assessment, and we'll do a group debrief together. I'm excited to move my body. I'm excited to share that energy. I'm excited to do all the things that Crystal loves to do with other people and give them permission to feel their feelings, give them permission to have those thoughts and not look at things as good or bad, right or wrong. Oh, it's about to be dope. So I'll update y'all on that. Let's move on to today's episode. I'm excited because this is something that I've been wanting to talk about. Shout out to my loctician. Her name is Kay Jackson. She is the owner of Abstract Natural. And I think it's Abstract Natural Hair. And she's located in Mechanicsville, Virginia. And her and I always are chopping it up. And we were talking about being stuck. And I think she shared this because I wrote it down. Are you stuck or are you refusing to move? And I was like, that is an episode title. And thus here we are. This reminds me of move, get out the way, get out the way, get out the way, move. Are you stuck or refusing to move? Now, homies, first and foremost, I recognize that there are times when we are unable to move for safety reasons, for health reasons, anything other any other legitimate reasons. I completely understand. So if that's you, kudos to you for recognizing that, and also continue to listen because there will be a time where you will be able to move and you will acknowledge that and celebrate yourself for, yep, I wanted to before, but maybe for safety reasons or other reasons I couldn't. But oh yeah, now is the time. So we're going to get into what it means to be stuck versus moving and what that looks like. But also we're going to acknowledge like what it feels like to have that aha moment or that moment of get it now, get it in various situations of those stuck moments. And then when you begin to get unstuck. So we'll go through what it feels like before and after, meaning what it feels like to be stuck and then what it feels like to be unstuck. Because all of you that are listening are intuitive beings. And this has rang This has rang true for me for a long time, where I would say, something's off. Something's not right. And what do we say today? The math is not mathing. I'm saying that. So clever. Anywho, I have recognized when things are off. And I'm gonna share what holographic thinking is being able to see things at different perspectives. Shout out to IPEC that be putting me on game. Holographic thinking in the aspect of coaching is being able to see a situation in three different ways. One, intuitively. And that is where I tend to flow from most of the time, but not with every situation. Intuitively, there's a knowing that I know something, but it's coming from a source. I just know it. I can't say, oh, I read the book and the book on page blah, blah, blah said this, or Sally Joe told me about blah, blah, blah. It's something that I know that I know. The second one is logic, being logical. 1 + 1 is 2. A plus B is C. Ugh. Meaning you are very logical. Quote unquote, does this make sense? Me leaving my job at the lowest point I have ever been, being a shell of a person in this corporate leadership role, not being supported, not being heard, actually starting to be reprimanded for others' actions, and me as their lead, holding them accountable, I'm getting in trouble. To me, logically, that makes no sense. But for others, it made sense to them to do it. I don't know. But me leaving my job, logically, it didn't make sense for my husband overall, meaning we had bills to pay. We had a house. I was bringing in a lot of money. I took a $60,000 pay cut because I decided to do my Arbonne business instead. It gave me more than just money. It gave me the pathway to where I am now. Back in the day, I totally got it. I was like, yeah, I know this makes no sense, but this is killing me on a different level. And me explaining that, he understood it. And then it got to the point where he was like, yeah, you got to go. So we have intuition, we have logic, and then the third one is emotional thinking and feeling. How do you feel? Are you scared? Are you fearful? Are you joyful? Are you making decisions off the feelings and the emotions? And if you're not familiar with the feelings wheel, please Google that. Feelings wheel. Starting from the middle of the wheel, expanding out. Some people limit themselves to happy, sad, mad, and angry. When you see that wheel, you're gonna be like, oh, that makes more sense now. There's so many other feelings, and I've been putting all these feelings in these small boxes. Do yourself a favor, utilize those feeling wheels. So if someone asks you how you're doing, you're more able to you're able to, you're able to be more accurate, or at least closer than just like, oh, I'm happy or I'm good or I'm fine. Good and fine are not feelings, but that we'll save that for a different day. Let's get into these stuck moments. So I'm going to share a couple of scenarios of what it may feel like to be stuck, and then what it might feel like or what it might look like to be unstuck. And the first stuck moment is switching jobs or careers. This one is so strong for me because Crystal, 4 or 5 years ago, you could not have told her she would not be in the radiology field in 2022. She would have been like, what are you saying? And get out of my way because I'm really good at this. And I want to see how I could take it. Like, where else could I expand to? And once I started expanding, I was like, oh, snap, I don't want to keep climbing this ladder. This does not feel good. Intuitively, something's off. A lot of people that I have spoken to, some of them have said, started this job. They chose me out of a group of, so many. and I'm lucky to be here, or I'm a loyal person. Well, your loyalty might be limiting you. And I'm gonna share that again. Your loyalty to a job and to a position may be limiting you. It might be stunting your growth. It might be increasing your stuckness. I started a 6-week online course with Miriam Hassan, and it's a course about ways of knowing. It's exploration of the intuitive self. And I just finished the first module of the chakras and the clairs. And this, I say that because I'm going to learn even more. My thoughts and my desires change over time. This job that you apply for, recognizing that this may be your first step. And this was shared in our intro Zoom meeting that we had the other night for the people who signed up for this course. And she was saying some people are so loyal to position where I've been looking, and finally got this job, and it's providing me so many opportunities. But that could have been your first step to the whole path. Like, that doesn't have to be your final destination. So feeling stuck in a job will feel like something's off. Um, and when you're asking questions for clarity and you're not getting the answers, then it starts to feel heavy. It starts to feel confusing. It starts to feel like you don't have options. Like there's no hope. There's lack of hope. So if you are currently in a job and maybe it's your dream job, like you've been wanting this for so long, this also pertains to the conversation I had with Whitney that just came out last week, where it's okay if that was your dream and then you got to it and you're like, yo, this is trash. Celebrate that. Like, yes, I have now have more information to make an educated or logical decision. Before I didn't know. I thought this dream job was going to bring me X, Y, and Z, and all it's giving me is money. But they're belittling me. They're not giving me any room for growth. I'm not being trained. I'm being reprimanded. I'm overworked. And it seems to keep getting increasingly demanding, but I'm not being compensated. And not just compensated for money. But what about time? Time is valuable. When have you had a job where it's flexible, where you can show up when you want to show up? And I'm not saying you work a 40-hour quote unquote job, but you only work like 2 hours a week. I'm not saying that. But where is the flexibility? That is value. Money is not the only thing. What it feels like to be unstuck is you actually going back to your values. I recently learned that clarity is a huge value for me. And now looking back at that previous corporate job, when I would ask questions, it would just bring on more questions. There wasn't any clarity. There wasn't any answers because they, the higher ups, didn't have the answers. They were just doing shit. And for them, it worked for them in their own way. And me trying to make sense of what other people's values are is pointless. You got to go back to you. What is true for you? And you can start by recognizing what your values are. Google values, look them up, and start highlighting the top 3. Don't overdo it and do like 10 or 15. Just choose 3 and just start exploring, like, do I actually value my family? Meaning, do I prioritize them? If people are asking me to do things at work, but yet I'm cutting my family time, you're not living in your values. And that's not to shame you. It is to highlight, to clarify, what are my true values? Don't take this as you have to judge yourself of, yeah, my family should be at the top. Time could be at the top. And then once you start having more time, your values for family time could be number 2. Or maybe they're not even at the top of the list. That's okay. It is okay. So understand, how does it feel to be stuck? And then what would it feel like to be unstuck? So maybe you're at this job, you're thinking about changing, the loyalty has you by the throat, and you're like, "Oh, I told them I would stay." But you know more now. Don't don't punish yourself for learning. You now know more. It's a different circumstance now, and you have all the authority to make the necessary adjustments with that increased knowledge. Let's move on to the second stuck moment. Navigating out of a friendship. Maybe it's not working anymore, right? And we can follow the same flows we did above, that you maybe have had this friend since middle school, high school, and maybe you had no idea what your values were in regards to linking up with a friend. I can say back in the day, my friendship was very logical. It was, we should talk every day, or we should talk once a week, or you should call me. I shouldn't have to call you all the time. And that is cool if that's what you go for. But as I get older and I'm actually exploring more, I'm meeting more people, that is impossible even for me to withhold that standard. My connection with friends are now more feelings based, meaning, how do I feel when I'm around you? Is it easeful? Meaning we have deep conversations that don't feel heavy. Do we just joke and laugh that just like explodes my energy, and like I'm buzzing afterwards of like, oh my gosh, like I was kind of tired and now I have more energy? Or are you depleting my energy where I'm constantly trying to explain myself or trying to make you feel better? Where do you lie in that holographic thinking of intuition, feeling, or logic? So, definitely with the friendships, again, it could be, but I'm loyal. I'm loyal to what? To what? Are you loyal to the idea of longevity, but the friendship has you feeling like trash, has you feeling depleted, tired, exhausted? Um, Or does it have you feeling hopeful, expansive? You're able to stretch and learn, and it's a feeling between being stuck and unstuck. But if you're not even aware of any of your feelings, you can't address what the issue is. So that's why it's so important to focus on identifying what you're feeling so you can actually address it. If I'm feeling depleted, then I'm like, okay, I need to provide myself with some energy. I want, let me, words have power. I want to energize myself. I want to give to myself instead of constantly taking or draining or leaking my energy to others. Oh, yeah, begin there. All right. So now I'm going to move to the third stuck moment, the final one, expanding to your fullest potential. Crystal, what does that mean? I'll tell you. I have been talking about this constantly, especially with my mentor, Stephen Conway, which we have an interview that's coming out. I cannot wait for y'all to hear it. But we both acknowledge that we are, what's the word? Ambitious. We accomplish a lot, but we're not even halfway to where we can actually go. Like, we're not at our full potential, and we recognize that. Amongst other people, it may look that way, but we know truly to ourselves that we could do more. And like I said earlier, that fear of just doubt, trying to convince people, wanting more people on the bandwagon, like sometimes you got to do it alone. So feeling stuck is complaining that other people aren't doing enough. Other people aren't putting themselves out there for people to see, support, however that might look. But in actuality, you're not doing it for yourself. You're not acknowledging that I know there's more I can do. And I've had the thoughts intuitively, I've had the hits of Crystal, do that. And it's like, I don't want to do that. I'm not ready to do that. But logically, you're frustrated at where you are right now. You feel like you should be further. Logically, then get up off your ass and do the thing. But the goal is not to look at it where I'm going to do the scary thing and I better get X, Y, and Z out of it. The goal is just to do the thing and celebrate it when you do the thing. Meaning, this retreat that I'm doing, it is a massive group of people where I have envisioned myself speaking to a larger audience in person, and it's coming true. And the more I have acknowledged that, and then I'm doing those baby steps, meaning the interview saying if anybody's ready, meaning when I met the two ladies who are spearheading this retreat saying, yes, I'm ready, meaning following up with a contact person, constantly showing up. I am so ready for this. Before I was nervous, I was in my head, but intuitively, I was born for this. Like me being I did this already. I was an instructor. I taught classes. Come on. I've been wanting this. So if you are stuck in expanding your fullest potential, how does that feel right now? Are you constantly complaining about others? I would ask for you to turn that mirror around, look at yourself and be like, what is the one thing I could do right now? Just that baby step. Whether it's sending out an email, whether it's having that tough conversation, whether it's posting something about how dope you are, being your own biggest fan instead of waiting for other people to big you up. Big yourself up. Let's go. We have now completed 3 very common stuck moments and what it feels like to be stuck, what it could feel like to be unstuck. It's peace. It's freedom. It is electrifying. Like I haven't even done the retreat, but I'm hyped as F. Like I just did it. I can't even imagine what's going to happen when I'm there, but I'm going to welcome it all because I know there'll be more. I've asked for more. So now I'm stepping into that one step at a time. Oh, I missed y'all so much. And I hope y'all have missed me too. If this resonates with you, do not hold it in. Hit the share button and text it to people. You don't have to post it on Instagram, but if you want to, I celebrate it. Tag me so I can repost it as well. I want to shout y'all out. I thank y'all for supporting me. And again, shout out to my dope producer, Foresight Media Productions, who has been a blessing and has definitely been sent to me by the creator of me stepping out, asking, telling people, I'm looking for an editor. And poof, there he is. We're a team, y'all. And it's been magical. He's been elevating me as well, and I him. And that's what I've always wanted. The feeling was right when I spoke to him. So that's where I went to. And then logically, it made sense because my time is now being focused on bigger projects. And while I enjoyed editing, I no longer wanted to do it anymore. And he's so passionate about it. So yes, y'all, yes. All right. So now I just want to shout out IPEC for all of these dope principles that I share with y'all at the end of the episode. And I am learning to live by it, and I'm hoping to share it with y'all. And it goes a little something like this. We are each a product of our own belief system. So what do you believe? The what do you believe is what I just added. That's not part of the principles. So if you are not satisfied with where you are, check your belief system. What are you holding on to? Where does your loyalty lie? In the past or in the mother effing present? Stay unstuck, peeps. Bye.
Foresight Media Production.